bill last year. I think just to ask him that when he takes the count of who sang choruses for the finance bill last year, he should exempt me. He should actually count me out because I was not amongst those that sang that chorus that was there. And I do not want to delve into the turnout, voter turnout in Nyanza, especially the Luo Nation. And of course, Dr. Mukwenja has explained it very well, that even when Ruto wants to, to think that he now has a replacement of the votes that he got from the mountain, that he should ask himself soberly whether the numbers there, if when their own man is on the ballot, the turnout is very poor, or how will it be if they support him? It's just, a sobering moment to think about that. And just to correct my friend Jared, and to ask him and every other Kenyan to allow Mount Kenya to be. They have a right like everybody else. When Jared says that Nyanza has always remained, sober, calm, I mean, we have been living here. We know what happened immediately the 2007 election results were announced and Kibaki pronounced winner. We know what happened in Kondele immediately. I mean, I can remember reporters who were there. I mean, and I'm not saying that people, what I'm saying is let people allow others to also express their dissatisfaction in any way. Nobody has ever been fought physically in Mount Kenya. So if Jared wants to compare the two regions, then he can know where most stones have ever been thrown. Then he can ask himself where the rails have ever been uprooted, and there is nothing like that. So just let Mount Kenya be. Let Mount Kenya be. Okay. Let it express its political dissatisfaction in the best way they know how. Okay. I mean, we are Kenyans also. So if others have ever expressed political dissatisfaction, allow Mount Kenya also to express political dissatisfaction, because they have a right. Yeah. I mean, and we have no problem with the projects going to Nyanza. You have not had anybody complain about that. I mean, all we are saying.
Senator NYUTU has joined the ongoing national conversation about President William Ruto's shifting political alliance, particularly his recent engagement with leaders from the Nyanza region. Speaking during an interview on Citizen TV Daybreak, NYUTU urged the president to carefully evaluate the political way of the Nyanza region before depending on it as a strong support base. He noted that Nyanza has long been a key stronghold of Raila Odinga. It has consistently recorded low voter turnout even in election where Raila himself was a candidate. NYUTU questioned whether the region's current support for President Ruto is as reliable as it seems, or if it's more symbolic than real. For him, true political strength lies in delivering votes, not by just giving public endorsement. Addressing concerns raised by ODM MP Jared Okello, NYUTU clarified that Mount Kenya region has no issue with any region or political party, including ODM, supporting the president. However, he pointed out a growing pattern where leaders who loses influence in their own region often turn to Nyanza for political backing. He mentioned the example of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, who, after being rejected by Mount Kenya voters, appeared to shift his focus towards support from Nyanza region. NYUTU used this to highlight how some leaders seek validation outside their own region when their local political capital fades. The senator also came to the defense of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua following the recent incident in Ottawa, where in Kithure Kindiki, the deputy president was heckled during a public function. NYUTU dismissed the claim that Gachagua was responsible, pointing out that it wasn't even present at the event. He said it is unfair to blame the former DP and suggest that heckling is better understood as a sign of growing public frustration. with the government rather than as a result of political sabotage. He also pointed to the recent event like the arrest of Rosin Jerry, a woman accused of educating the public about the controversial Finance Bill 2025, as an example of how ordinary Kenyans are feeling silence. According to NYUTU, the rising tension at the public forums are not just targeted at individuals, they are a reflection of deeper dissatisfaction among citizens. In his view, the focus should shift from blaming politicians for disrupting to understanding why many Kenyans feel ignored and frustrated.
Sometimes it's disappointing to listen to people who are leaders, people who went to school, but who instead of addressing the question on the table, twist things to suit a particular narrative. And I'm referring to my friend Jared here. There were chants of one term by ordinary wananchi in Nyeri. But Jared, takes this and twists it. And even, in fact, says it was a response to the rouse welcome that RUTO received in Homa Bay. I mean, it's sad, Trevor. I mean, listening to a sober mind like Mukwanja here, addressing the issues, that is what should be looked at. What could have led these Kenyans, because Rigathi Gachagua was not anywhere near there, what would have led these Kenyans into those chants? And I liked Mukwanja's, approach. One, it is, Kenyans are continuously feeling suppressed. And the case of Jerry is the latest in point. I mean, that you just establish a platform for Kenyans to air their views regarding the Finance Bill 2025, and then you are arrested for having committed no crime at all, showing that there is intolerance on the part of government. And then who actually was the chief guest in this particular event? It was Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. But remember, this was Nyeri, and the residents there, I'm just suspecting, they are human beings. They have feelings. I mean, this Professor Kindiki, how did he come to office? It was through some very crude means, of having somebody impeached just to get to the to office. And it is, I don't like discussing the professor because he's a good man. But he played a very major role in the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. And Kenyans are informed. And so when you come to us and you're telling us you have come to empower us, giving us some goodies, giving young men some 500 Kenya shillings to go and again, that illicit brews are back to the region. In other regions you are doing, the government is doing real empowerment. But in our region, you are bringing us beans, you are bringing us rice, and you are giving young men 500 Kenya shillings to just go and waste themselves, by taking alcohol. And then, so people, are feeling that these are fake empowerment programs, and somebody is taking advantage of them. People are very frustrated that the National Assembly last week could suspend important business to insult, not to discuss Rigathi Gachagua, to just insult Rigathi Gachagua. And you can listening to Jared, you can of course know where he's coming from. Who led this particular insult session? It was none other than Junet Mohammed, the minority leader. And so when you listen to Jared here, instead of addressing real issues, coming and twisting things, you get very sad. So the other thing that, of course, makes Mount Kenya very, very, very mad, even with the leaders and of course, those that were in that meeting, the local leaders that were in that meeting, are the leaders who voted no. Why are people from that particular region feeling very frustrated? Because why do you elect an MP, Trevor? And Jared is here. What is the job description of a member of parliament? It is to represent, to legislate, to oversight. The MPs who voted yes to the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua ignored the voice of the people, did not represent the people in that region, because there was that public engagement, supposedly to collect views, and people were feeling very strongly that they did not want the Rigathi Gachagua impeached. But what did the MPs do? They decided to represent William Ruto and not the people. And these people, they are human beings. They have feelings. They are feeling frustrated. When then this group comes and they are telling you that they're empowering you, they have to get very